Hey pals, it's Old Mate Katho here, and we are doing a little vlog that I said that I would do, like a week ago. We might just have a little discussion, because it's always nice to have a discussion, just about me, about me and the state of the channels and the kind of stuff that I didn't really address this year that was going on. And yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff that I thought I should probably let you in on about how my 2015 really was, and why I was so crap at producing content, essentially. Yeah, just no good stuff came out, to be honest, in 2015. I guess the reason that I took off sort of the time after Christmas and stuff, and I did a whole bunch of pre-recording when I probably shouldn't have, was that I went through a pretty rough breakup at the end of November. I was in a relationship for nearly a year, well, certainly since the start of last year. It was around that time. I was in a pretty toxic relationship, unfortunately, with someone who I thought that I'd fallen in love with, but unfortunately didn't love me back. So that's always good, isn't it? I kind of felt used, and I felt like I was just being ditched. And yeah, a whole bunch of emotions. In hindsight, I probably put too much trust into that person, and it really backfired on me, and I told them some things that I think probably scared them away, and I don't think that's a good idea to do anymore. So yeah, that told me not to be so open in 2015. I think I'm slowly getting over it, but you know, it's annoying, and I don't want to bore you into details of like, oh my god, and blah blah blah. Other thing that I kind of let people in on this year was that unfortunately I was diagnosed with anxiety this year, which I think has been probably a big issue for a long time. I just get anxious about a lot of things, and I get anxious about just like my future, and I get anxious about just the future, the present, the past, everything. Recording a video makes me anxious. As a result of the anxiety, I was really sick, as a lot of people know, this year. I basically went from the start of January being, I think about this time January, I was pretty much bedridden, and unable to eat and unable to really do anything, with this awful kind of flu-y thing. I can't even remember what that sickness was, because there was so many in-betweens. I think I was just throwing up all the time, and it was, yeah, really crap. Kind of from there, I think it was a mixture of stress and anxiety that really lowered my immune system, and meant that essentially I just didn't function this year as a human being. I've been on too many antibiotics this year that I can't even remember the names of. I've been on too many medications, and I've had so many blood tests and so many other fun tests where you have to put certain fluids into cases and send them off for treatments and stuff. I just recently moved out back home again, within the last few days. I think that was something that really contributed to my anxiety, was not looking after yourself and stuff, but just moving away from home, because I haven't had that many massive changes in my life. I've lived in one house, this house, for all of my life, and moving out, I was it really upset me, and it really made me cry a lot. You don't want to see it, it's disgusting, trust me. Once I moved out, I was like, I made a big mistake doing this. Not that I couldn't look after myself, I really worked out then that, yeah, I can look after myself. If worst comes to worst, I can look after myself. I can do washing, I can cook, I can do all of that kind of stuff. I can look after the upkeep of something. But it was just that, it wasn't really a necessity for me to move out, and it just really stressed me out, and there was more downsides than upsides. It was great, it was good to move out with friends, it was good to have a place actually in the city, whereas rather than in the middle of nowhere where I am now. Lol. It was learning, but it also just did not help with the whole sickness and all of that stuff. And I kind of worry It's not like, that was 2015, I'm over it, 2016 is gonna be the best year ever. Like, I don't physically know. I could be sick within another week. There's no medical conclusion for why I was sick every week of the year. Like, the doctors were just like, okay, well now we're gonna try anxiety, dealing with your anxiety and seeing maybe whether that helps. I felt like last year my depression came back in like a major way. And it's not, yeah, that's not something that I'm just like, please care for me because I've been really depressed all the time. Like, it's just a thing that I live with. It's just, I've probably had it for going on about 8 years now. And that's kind of a gross thing to have. Like, I'm 20, no one should kind of have to feel those things. I don't want this video to be like, feel pity for me. I just want to let you know what's like been going on and like what's happening and where the future of my life personally goes. And in relation to social medias and all those kind of things. Not like I need to make like a coming out video of like, oh my god, I'm so depressed. Like, it's just a thing. It doesn't matter. I've done psychology, I've done therapy, I'm about to go back into therapy, but whatever. So that's another thing that kind of happened last year. There was some stuff that happened, obviously because I'm doing an acting course, getting you prepped for the industry. I got a bit of feedback right at the end of last year from a teacher about losing weight, and it was like, I don't want to see you fail in the industry because you're a couple of kilos heavier than something else. And there was a whole bunch of stuff about making me go to a doctor and physically losing weight there, and that is a problem that I'm not kind of ready to address on a bigger scale because I haven't really got it under control. I haven't got myself under control when it comes to self-esteem and body image and stuff. It's not like I'm be like, please love your body, because like, I don't feel that about myself. So how can I say that to you and like not mean it? That this is like some people that really do know that I suffer a lot of problems with body image and stuff like that, and like, I don't see myself as like a pleasant picture to look at in any stretch of the imagination. But it's not like I'm not doing something. Like, I go to the gym 6 times a week and I work out for 2 hours every single day, and I'm a vegetarian and I eat healthier and I'm on a diet every day. Like, I've been on this really extensive diet since I was in about year 10. So what's that? 6 years? No. 4 years. 4 years ago. It's just calorie restriction and all of that stuff. And I just have a problem, unfortunately, shifting weight. It sucks. And I've got really low self-esteem and low body image and all of that kind of stuff, which I guess doesn't help with like dealing with, like, if you can't really be happy with yourself, that just, you can't really be happy with a lot of other things. Yeah, that was kind of a crappy thing. And yeah, started off my holidays real right. Like, I was just so like worn out from the end of last year, and then just like finish the whole year, I get told lose weight, I get broken up with, and like, how great does that make a girl feel? So yeah, I really hounded myself with exercise and dieting and all of that stuff over the holidays, and it physically hasn't really worked. I've shifted 2 kilos or something like that. I've been to the doctor and the doctor's like, you are at a normal weight. Like, if you can't shift it, you don't need to lose it. Like, there's nothing that I can do to make you magically lose weight. I would love to be an advocate for people with low self-esteem and body image issues, and I think it's such a huge issue with the industry that I'm going into, and I think it's just a huge issue in society. But I am not at a point where I am ready to talk about it in a way that I could talk to someone about depression and kind of like dealing with that and coping with that in the same way that I can't really deal with anxiety very well, obviously. But yeah, that's kind of my 2015. So just wrapping it all in a big bundle: sickness, mental health, low body image, breakups. Yeah, good year. Really prime year, one of the best. This isn't gonna be a suki lala video of like, please like and subscribe because I'm so sad. Like, I'm just telling you that kind of lets you know where my headspace is at in lieu of creating content and stuff. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do in 2016. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, like, I've got 2 years of my uni course left. I'm not going to give that up to pursue YouTube because there's no point. I'm so not big enough, and I'm so not going to get big enough to ever pursue a career in that. I kind of need to focus on this, and although it like really stresses me out and makes me sick and all of that kind of stuff, it's the kind of the one thing that I really enjoy, and I don't think I'd know what to do if I didn't do what I was doing. Probably be less sick. Low. Thank you for listening to my rambles as per usual, and yeah, hopefully that's given you an insight. I just wanted to do something to start off the year and to let you know where I'm currently at, and then content hopefully will come out of that. I'm also doing laser light acupuncture for a medical condition that I have, which is disgusting. And you don't really want to know about it because I mean it's disgusting. It's yuck. It's not nice. But I'm changing up a whole bunch of stuff about my lifestyle. So yeah, that's gonna kind of throw my year a little bit in like the way that I organise myself. So maybe I've just become super organised in 2016. So yeah, I'm going to try my very best to do as much as I can in 2016. That's kind of what I wanted to say in that lieu of circumstances. I'm going to try and get on top of a lot of this stuff, anxiety and depression and body image and all of that kind of stuff. And just, yeah, hopefully not having to feel so sorry for myself all the time. Because ain't nobody got time for that. Taking more time out for myself, I didn't do a lot of last year. And I think that's where I suffered because I physically couldn't relax. It's 2016. New year, new me. It's always the way, isn't it? But yeah. Okay, I can't think of anything else to say. So I'm going to leave you on that note. And we're going to start doing videos again. And it's going to be great. So thank you very much for listening to my ramble. And I will see you in another video